for today's cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee.
I'm matching my Virgo preparedness against kids' Aries.
Here's the thing. That is just a backlog in my chart. Virgo is a couple placements in her backlog.
I've got several things.
It is not her main shit.
No, it is not
She
my
needs
main
to
shit.
settle her shit like I need to settle my Aries.
I'm going into my Virgo season, though, of life.
Listen. Virgo. I love y'all. I do. Y'all get on my nerves because y'all are nitpicky.
It's just a matter of seeing how things could be done in an efficient manner. And yes, it can be extremely nitpicky.
Sometimes it's like, with Virgo's dead ass, it's like, don't see any of the shit that's done, but they see one thing that's like not done. It's like, what is that? Why didn't you do that though? Well, and it's like, what about
true.
all the other work?
True. That is true. That is one thing that people that have signs in Virgo have to be careful of. To get the whole picture and not just see. But it's just, I think that's one of those things that females have a tendency to do. And it's just like, you'll clean one spot and it's like, then everything else looks so much worse if you hadn't cleaned that one spot.
And then that makes you want to clean more spots.
That, or it just frustrates the shit out of you, and it's just like overwhelmed already. This is like ADHD brain.
ADHD cleaning one thing at a time. One spot at a time, one thing at a time.
Until somebody, squirrel. And then it goes.
Now you gotta train your brain to keep on track.
I do try to do that. I have tried to do that
I'm
for
trying
a
to
long
do that.
time.
I'm trying to do that too, so I understand it's not easy.
Yeah. And it's like, this is podcast for the Neurospicy, of the Neurospicy.
Neurospicy.
We just expect everybody else to keep up. This will heighten your psychic abilities. It's like, what are they actually thinking?
Is that the smoke that comes out of people's ears?
I think so.
Like,
I think so.
The gears burning, that's the Neurospicy.
That or them gritting their teeth going, God, get to the point.
Yeah.
This is the point. It's the journey. That is the point.
I had someone once tell me, like, I had a long pause. They were like, don't think too hard. I guess smoke was, and I responded to, is smoke coming out of my ears or something? The gears are probably burning.
Well, I think that's part of the problem, is that people's listening skills have become so compromised that just because somebody has a second to think, and they need to take some of them need to take 2 or 3 seconds to think before responding. Mm-hmm. And because, like I said, the listening skills are so compromised, most people are not hearing what the other person is saying. They're just waiting for their turn to speak.
Yeah, pretty much. I get that.
And this has to do very much with lack of self-control. And not just those of us that are neurospicy and have, a little bit of impetuous speech, that type thing, speaking at a turn.
Impediment. Yeah.
That's not necessarily an impediment. It's just that.
Yeah, that's
because especially if we get excited and we want to share an idea or something, and we will step over someone else as they're speaking, it's not intentional at all. It's not intended as a slight or a rudeness to the other person.
No, not in the slightest. If it's something that we could fix, we could. That's why the ADHD medication is a thing.
Well, that's why Strattera is great.
Well, that's an ADHD medication.
Yeah,
right there.
but I mean, you hear everybody talking about some of these other ones that are, potentially addictive. You don't ever hear them talking about the ones that are not.
What was that one? Adderall
and Ritalin are the two that everybody wants to, as far as medicating children. And it's like, to medicate children is a very, very serious thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
With anything. And I'm trying to remember what it was that they tried you on one time when you were in public school. It was something for the ADHD. And you said it made you feel terrible. And I'm like, no.
I don't even remember what that was.
Because I was very hesitant to medicate child.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like, there are no easy answers. Because on some of it, it very much could be some kind of side effect. And I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I think it needs to be done differently.
Vaccines should not be stacked.
No, I don't think so. I think that
From what I've heard,
when you've got a newborn who has not even developed an immune system, has not had enough time to have the colostrum to get an immune system, and you start putting foreign things in them, there's going to be problems. Mm-hmm. That doesn't take a rocket scientist.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
And that was just like, I was talking to our beloved Joe Schmo earlier. He's an alchemist, and he's brilliant. He truly is. And as far as where I have had weeks now of just fibromyalgia, just crazy. I'm not doing gluten, so that's not the thing. But as far as our son has been very, very, very active. And it's like, is there a correlation between some of the solar activity and an increase in pain? And,
with the solar flares and all that shit.
And there's people that they're like, no, they can't possibly. Well, if it will affect a radio.
Kidney stones. It's ejecting sun kidney stones.
Well, that's good for you. That's clearing. But if it will affect a radio, why would it not affect the human body? Do they not understand that these bodies are receivers and transmitters?
Literally. I mean, we have electrons running through our bodies.
Sure.
So, of course, like, shit that's going on. I mean, that's part of the shit that powers us is going on up there in the galaxy.
But also right now where the magnetosphere is thin, that's got a bearing on it.
It does.
So we're getting some of the UV
sun
radiation that not,
Remember when you could look at the sun and it not burn your eyes out?
And it was yellow. Mm-hmm. It was wonderful. Mm-hmm. And you would tan instead of getting cancers and all these things. And
what have they replaced the sun with?
It is cyclical. And we are here for such a time as this for whatever reason.
The moon's in the wrong spot. It's the Cheshire moon.
I don't know what's going on with that. But it's what I'm noticing as far as not just, I mean, it's like everything, it literally is like living in the upside down. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And as far as do they know this shit? Hell yeah, they do.
They do.
And even as far as the propaganda, and we talk about this frequently because it's every day. It is warfare every day. And this is a matter of a spiritual attack and a psychological attack, because I don't know that you can separate that. And if you want to go and just a quick search of what does propaganda mean?
Pushing an agenda.
Mm-hmm. It says information. It says it's a noun. Information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote a particular cause, doctrine, or point of view.
Do you want me to do the incoming?
You can do that.
Shit, I had to go back to it.
Well, he's trying to... My sound bite. I should have had my sound bite ready. I wasn't quite prepared for it.
Should have had it. It's probably not going to play.
Is it not going to play? Everything, the electronics have been wiggy lately, too. Spotty connection.
Shit.
No, don't get us a copyright strike on it.
Wait, I gotta wait. I gotta wait for it. I gotta listen to it. Is it pause?
Aries. What? Did it stop?
There was no last pause.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that's nothing.
See, it didn't have the last one. That's like silent. I'm like, what?
And what it was, as far as Sisters of Mercy, one of my all-time favorite bands, as far as I'm trying Vision Thing. That was such a good album.
Sisters of Mercy, Ribbons,
where he's screaming incoming. And somebody said they had that as a text alert since 2001. I want that. I need that. I really do.
Yeah.
But so we've got all this stuff. It ain't just incoming. It's here. It's already hit.
Put on a light and fluffy note. Remember when, like, ringtones were cool?
Yeah, well,
Text
I always
tones, all that.
Are you kidding? I had that one from Disturbed for years.
It was awesome. Yeah.
And I've got the one now that is from, it's where it goes, Run.
Yeah.
AWOL Nation.
Run.
Because if it's gonna ring, I'm going to amuse myself with this.
Right.
But propaganda is something that has been used against humans even before the written word. There was probably propaganda in cuneiform someplace.
Probably.
They're in Sumeria. It's called lies. It is lies. You've got out and out lies. Then you have those half-truths. And all of it's designed to break brains and spirits.
Listen, those half-truths and those lies will...
they'll catch up with people eventually.
All that shit comes back. At some point, all that shit comes back on the person that cast that shit.
And
right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because it is a form of black magic. Because you're manipulating other people. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're presenting information and allowing them to make their own decisions, okay, that's free will. But anytime that you lie to somebody to try to get them to do what you want them to do, that is black magic. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's not a hard concept.
No.
I'm slurping because I have tonic water and it's ruby red grapefruit juice.
I'll slurp for you. You don't want to slurp because you get choked up.
Right, because the tonic water, the quinine in it actually does...
That did not sound good.
The quinine actually can help with fibromyalgia. But the news cycle, it's not even fun anymore. I mean, it used to be that I could find some of the quirky, funny, weird stories. Mm-hmm. All that's gone.
Yeah.
And this thing about, and I'm not even going to try to pretend that I know anything about the British royalty other than the people. I know that King Charles had a diagnosis of prostate cancer and stuff. And then this thing about Harry and what's that? Meghan Markle, whatever.
Something Markle.
I don't even know enough to care. I really don't. I just know I'm sick of seeing them.
Sick and tired. Sick and tired of seeing them. That's like, oh God, what was her name? She was married to that one bald-headed lady. Book tour.
I have no idea.
Married to the man who was like, keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Yeah, that was Will Smith.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah.
She's another one that needs to just shut the fuck up.
Well, all these people they're 15 minutes and what they're doing. And anybody who is concerned about what these people are doing, they already entranced. They are, bewitched.
Yeah.
But this lately about Kate Middleton, who he's married, is it William? I think he's the one. And that she had to go to the hospital and different things. These people have gone ballistic over this.
For what reason?
I mean, it's just, and because we are American, we don't thoroughly understand the mindset of the people who grew up with, having a royal family.
Right. Yeah.
We don't get that.
No, we don't understand. We don't understand the monarchy.
Well, we do, but ours is not of this earth. And so, with this, I don't understand. They're saying that when this woman was in the hospital, that there's the possibility that hospital staff had somehow gotten her medical records. Now, over here, that is a HIPAA violation.
Yeah.
That somebody's medical records and stuff like that, that's almost like a sacred thing. You don't.
Yeah.
But even that has been compromised in the past few years. It's crazy. It's wrong. And these are the forces of darkness, little by little, taking more ground, more and more and more. But it's like, this woman, whatever, I mean, she is a human being, as far as we know. I'm not getting reptile vibes off her. I really am not. But it's like,
well,
why can you imagine having an emergency situation where you went to the hospital and have to worry about some damn paparazzi messing with you?
Yeah, that's something that really...
Now, these people are off the rails. I mean, they really are. And I believe in freedom of press. I certainly do. I believe in freedom of speech. But there are laws as far as slander and libel and just all kind of defamation.
Mm-hmm.
Where are the people that are being held accountable for defaming people? I do want to see perp walks on that. It is not enough for me to see these people get fired. I don't give a shit. I want to see them put in jail because they have brought harm to another human being because that they wanted to be what? A click or a paycheck or a like or whatever. I don't care. There needs to be some culpability and people need to see that.
Mm-hmm.
See, I got that Libra rising, and that's what's that call for justice. It is.
Yeah, I agree.
And we're seeing this everywhere.
There has to be some form of resolution.
Both. And it's like, because that people are being tried and in some places virtually executed. You can kill a person and them still be walking around breathing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there needs to be days of reckoning on that.
Yes. There does. There does?
It's okay. I understand. We'll blame the sun on that. So it's just, whether it's big name people, small name people, just random people, and where people have got the cell phones and stuff, they're defaming people. When you video somebody and you upload that shit and you don't have that person's consent, now that shit needs to be illegal.
Yeah, that shit happens all the time. And full on needs to be illegal. There's no reason for that. That's like, even if you're posting it on YouTube or something like that.
YouTube has rules.
They do have rules. You have to have people consent to be in the videos or not.
Absolutely. Which is why we don't, very rarely, even if we go out in a store and video, which is not that often, we don't show people.
Right.
We show product because we try to be cognizant of other people's privacy.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want it done to me. Would you want it done to you?
Absolutely not, but I don't know. It's just kind of like one of those things that's... There's a difference if you're just passing by someone. So you can quickly edit that out or something. You can blur their face,
right.
Whatever. There are programs to do that now. But to use people as props,
Right.
that ain't right.
Now, I think it's a form of dehumanizing.
It is a form of dehumanizing and almost shaming / embarrassing.
Absolutely. And we've got a lot of that. Because that is a person. It doesn't matter whether they're tall or small or thin or fat or they down here and just down and out, or whether they're up there and, you know, on a pedestal or whatever. They're people.
I don't know. It's same shit, nothing new.
Well, yeah, on a lot of it. But it seems to be getting worse. And that's just like...
That's when you fight it. You just fucking fight it by not...
You don't play with it. I mean,
yeah, you don't play with it,
you
so
know.
you don't acknowledge it. What do you do with the child that throws a tantrum?
Well, it depends.
You sort of just gotta let, as long as it's not breaking shit. If it's just flailing around on the floor, not hurting itself, none of that. It's not breaking shit. You wait and you're like, "Are you done? Did you get it out of your system?"
Yeah. On a lot of it. I'll tell you what I did with you one time. Because I am me. And you were laying in the floor and doing one of those kicking, screaming things.
Of course I was.
I laid down right beside you and I did it better.
Yeah. Yeah, you do that shit.
And then it shocked you. And you're like, oh, damn.
It shocks any child.
And
that is a good way.
Yeah, and I told you, I said I've had more experience. But it also lets you see the ridiculousness of what the behavior looked like.
Mm-hmm. It did. How old was I?
Oh, you were little. 3, 4, something like that.
Yeah, so it's acceptable tantrum age from a child, sort of.
Yeah, well, kids do that. They push. They try as far as adults and stuff. But that is where it is up to the adult to be the adult and say, no. That's the magic word in parenting. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was just like I was listening to parts of an interview. It was a behavioral psychologist or something with Joe Rogan. And that he was basically telling people how to parent, which includes... You don't have to give these kids cell phones.
No.
And he was suggesting that when they, as far as, oh, well, I'm out of the loop socially, that they actually form groups that parents get together. I think it used to be called communities.
Yeah.
That they like-minded to sit there and with their kids, if they've got just a basic phone that you can do talk and text.
Yeah.
And take their kids to do actual activities.
Uh-huh.
Wow, how novel.
Which generation is doing this again?
And that was a dude. It was Joe Rogan had uploaded it. I think it was like today or yesterday or something like that.
Gen Z? Gen Z parent?
Well, he was just any parent. Any parent.
Well, earlier today I was telling you, like, Gen Z parents are doing a good job as far as, like, monitoring what the kids watch and not allowing them to have technology or, like, cell phones.
Yeah.
Like, it's at least smartphones, computers, stuff like that before a certain age.
That's exactly what
Millennials,
this guy...
for some reason, ain't getting it. And this is even coming from a teacher that reacted to that video.
Well, that was what this gentleman and some of them were discussing, putting a warning on it and an age limit, just like they do with cigarettes or alcohol or anything else, because is it potentially addictive? Yes. And the other one that I saw was from Sky News Australia. They have some interesting things there. And the lady was talking to Dr. Gad Said. It's S-A-A-D, and he's from Canada. He works with Jordan Peterson. He's another one that refuses to comply up there.
Oppositional defiant disorder.
And, well, no, I mean, that was just one of those, there comes a point in time you have to take a stand.
Yeah.
Especially
you got
when
morals.
those opposing
if it goes
you.
against your own morals, like, you just don't do it.
Right. And he was talking about parasitic ideas and that it is a social contagion.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can see that. Like, if a society is poisoned, you're going to have a bunch of poisoned people.
Right. Right. And this is just another method of spreading a social contagion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, historically, we have had, bouts of mass hysteria from time to time. And because I am female, I don't think that they'll put a label as far as a warning label, but they may. Because it's usually females, and Peterson has talked about it, it's because we have a tendency to be more agreeable, more emotional.
Yeah.
That it's one of that's why you have to have that balance of male and female, that men have a tendency to be more rational, to sit there and step back, take a look at this, don't get all up in your feelings about this shit.
What would be a valid age to allow people to be online? What would be the age limit for online access?
That's a good question.
Would it be you have to be 21 and older to that type of deal? Or does it have to be like 18 and up?
I don't know.
Or 25 and up?
I don't know. I think that a lot of those things are going to have to be reassessed due to the fact of how technology has altered the physical brains, according to some studies, of those who grew up with it. And especially with that frontal lobe shrinkage, and that's the reasoning and rational part of your brain. I mean, so that's that's going to cause someone to have compromised thinking.
I mean, this is the first generation besides Gen Z, but Gen Z even didn't grow up with technology fully in their hands. Mm-hmm. At least the majority of them didn't.
Right.
But these millennial babies, the babies being raised by the millennials and the Gen Alpha, these babies have had them since birth, basically.
Yeah.
What are we going to do about that?
I don't know. And it's a matter of people learning how to bob and weave. And
it's going to be another case of parents not wanting to parent because they weren't parented. So
well, it's a matter, again, consequences for actions.
Yeah, but the rest of us should not be punished as well, having to be forced to live with that.
No. But see, this is what's going on with this propaganda bullshit.
And those children didn't exactly deserve to have that thing thrown in front of them thing.
No, that's not their fault. That was the parents' fault.
Yeah. And then throw fits because they're addicted to these devices.
And when you read the comments on some of these videos like this, and you see people that have dealt with things and how they have dealt with it, and that's where you have that community forum. This works. What have you noticed? This didn't work for me. How can I make this work? But that's what is needed. It's not a matter of one person speaking and going, oh, you must do it this way and you can't question. And that's what we're trying to prevent. Mm-hmm. A lot of us are trying to prevent.
Yeah.
Because when you have that gathering, like I said, because different people know different things, you can learn something from anyone, even if it's what not to do.
Yep. That is true.
And people are, as far as the propaganda machine, and I think that's one of the reasons that they are pushing harder and harder and harder, is because nobody cares. Nobody cares what they say, what they think. People are more interested in some ways of listening to some of these people on X or on TikTok. And I think that was one of the reasons that they were pushing to try to get rid of TikTok.
That is true. But also at the same time, it is like the hub of the internet now. Mm-hmm. TikTok is where everybody goes, and it's easy to communicate with people on there.
Right. Well, after I heard Rand Paul talk about it, it changed my mind about it. And they were saying, as far as, oh, well, they're gathering information, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. They sat there in front of Congress and admitted that Facebook had been doing these things. I didn't see Zuckerberg being frog walked out.
Right. Right. It's like they give him a pass, but because they don't got control over TikTok, basically, that's why they have an issue with it.
Right.
It's about control. And that's what everybody is also saying on TikTok. Like, if you signed up on TikTok, you would see a bunch of people talking about that right now. Being like, this is just a way for them to shut us up.
See, as far as sitting there and doing that day in and day out, I have no interest in it. I honestly, no.
I mean,
no.
Can it be addictive? Absolutely.
Sure. It's a distraction from a lot of things.
It is.
That was the reason I got off Facebook years ago.
Well, all of these things are distractions.
Because
in
I
some
thought,
way.
well, I'll sit here for, 5-10 minutes, see what, my 2 or 3 people are doing. And then it's like, it'd be like 2 hours later. And I'm like, where the hell did the day go?
Yeah.
And it's like, this is damn mind control. So I got rid of it in 2013. And I've tried some of the other things. I enjoy very much participating in certain live stream, the chat on live streams. I enjoy commenting under some videos and stuff. Mm-hmm. I definitely interact with, the few that take the time to comment on our videos and stuff, because we're small enough to where I can give these people individual attention. Mm-hmm. Which is wondrous.
Yeah.
But as far as doing that day in and day out, oh, hell no. No. Who's got time for that?
Well, that's like Instagram, Twitter, stuff like that. Over the past 2 years, I've looked at Twitter more. But before that, I've never was really into Twitter.
Right.
Like, I would look at it once in a while. Even now, I'm not endlessly scrolling like I do on TikTok or YouTube or something like that. Instagram was a similar way. It's like, I would go on there, I would scroll for a few minutes, then get off. Like, it was not...
Right.
Those apps, to me, are not as addictive. I don't know if it's the way that they're designed or laid out, whatever, but TikTok, it will just suck you in for hours.
Well, that was the thing that people were concerned about, but that goes to individual... Again, free will.
It does. And TikTok has tried to put safeguards. As far as that, they have tried to put like these things that pop up on your feed every so often. Be like, hey, you've been scrolling a long while.
Hey, you know what? That's actually pretty decent.
Yeah, they do that.
It's like, they did that.
Are you scrolling on TikTok rather than going to bed? Just take a moment with me. Breathe. All right, now turn this app off, go to bed.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like, so they do have safeguards, but it's up to the individual to actually pay attention to those safeguards, pay attention to their own body, be like, should I go to bed?
You can misuse anything.
Yeah. It's not that they're intending this app to be misused. It's just a thing.
Right.
People misuse it.
Well, like I said, anything can be misused.
Yeah.
It's, again, going back to self-control.
Yes.
And with the propaganda machine, they're telling people basically to not have self-control. They're punishing people for having self-control.
That's exactly what they're doing. Because guess what? Yes, you may have free will, but to an extent, if you're going to live around other people, you have to have a certain amount of self-control.
Absolutely, or you have no civilization.
Yeah, you have no civilization, your shit's broken, all that.
Yeah. And it concerns me when I'm reading stories about cannibalism, not in a funny, that's odd way, but in a where this is becoming routine way. Mm-hmm. That you've got... It's
starting to become...
They're trying to normalize the shit.
What is the word?
Desensitize?
No. it literally went into, I guess, how people tried to make a society before they even knew what a society was. And how, like, almost some of these people are on these islands.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because there are some, like, really, like, deep in the
Right.
islands we don't even know of.
Right.
They got little groups of people.
Right.
And they're cannibals, all that. That's sort of what it's like they're trying to make us almost turn back to, which is this, I don't know, it's like this just animalistic,
Yes.
savage
Right.
being.
But the thing is...
And as humans, we're not really necessarily supposed to do that, purely.
No, we're not. People are not supposed to be food. I do not want to live through Soylent Green.
No, I mean, in reality, other than God, we are at the top of the food chain.
Yes.
We don't have any predators of our own.
Yeah. Except ourselves.
Yeah. So what? That's like this self-destructive tendency in people.
Which is
why
weird.
is that?
I don't know.
Because that's what happens. It's like people's stuff goes good, and then somehow, some way, like it's almost like this fucking switch flips, and shit just starts to spiral for you mentally, and it just goes all to hell.
I don't know. Maybe somebody else externally flips a switch. We don't know.
That's what I'm like. Is this a game of The Sims? Because that's what I do with The Sims. I make them bipolar as fuck. Some of them.
But that was what
Some
we
of
were,
them.
you know, there a couple of days ago where, and we won't get into that because we're already going long on this one. But as far as the
Sims.
differences within the Nephilim, that there were 3 different types of hybrids. And that it baffled them why that humans would attack other humans.
It's something that's...
Because humanity, we are some kind of hybrid. We are.
We are a hybrid, but something broke us that
Well, that was
caused
the fall.
it to happen. It's like that one action alone did so much damage.
It did. On a spiritual level.
Yeah. So how do we fix that brokenness that the devil broke?
Well, it's a matter of self-control. It's a matter of free will, and it's a matter of God, that him fixing what we can't, but we're expected to fix what we can.
Yeah, but we also are sort of expected to almost sit and wait for him in a way too.
Well,
it's like
we got things that we can.
It's
be
like
doing
yeah,
the whole time.
we can pray and all that, but everything's in his timing too. It's like we gotta wait for him to do something.
It is, but within that waiting, he gave us things to do, such as take care of the widows and orphans, clothe the naked, feed the hungry. Don't forget about the prisoners.
But the people that cannot do that,
well, that's why they can still pray. No matter how debilitated you are, if you still have some semblance of brain left, you can still pray.
But what has got, like, seriously, has technology made people go back to savage mentality almost?
I think it's, I don't know that it's technology. I
Or
think
is
it's
it
the
just
people behind the technology.
Or
And maybe it
has
is
it
the
been
cyber
ever
Satan.
Maybe, but has it been ever since, like, propaganda became a thing in this nation? Has it been before that?
Oh yeah, honey. Yeah. We're just seeing how deep the tentacles of Vecna go. It's not
Red
just this
Queen.
nation. It's not just us. It's just we're the
No.
being targeted right now.
Well, in a way, America's the star child of the world. Mm-hmm. Like, dead ass, that's how it is. It's the star child of the world.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
Well, little by little is what happened. People weren't paying attention. There were things that were done that the public, they were deceived. They blindly trusted. And the founding fathers warned them about that. They did.
But not all the founding fathers were good.
No, well, they were people.
And not all of them did stuff.
They were people. They weren't saints. They weren't messiahs. They were people. But they were brilliant people with an idea.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's not about... Everybody is... Most people have the element of good and element of bad. Everybody's got that shadow self. And it's... Which one do you want to... Which one do you want to feed? Which wolf do you want to feed?
Mm-hmm. I want to feed... I don't know.
The one that wants you to go higher. Exactly.
Yeah. Like, that's the one that
to be more than you are.
But it's like there's so much knowledge out there and not all of it is correct. And it's hard to decipher which one's good and which one's bad. That's the thing.
Well, that's why we have a book.
And that sort of puts you at a standstill. And where they have warped shit over the years. So much so that it under our noses that we didn't even know.
Sure.
Portraying people in light that was not accurate to reality.
Well, that's true. That is very, very true. And it gets people in this just mind fuck. What is reality?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that breaks the brain and makes a person not trust hardly any information that's coming their way unless it is almost a valid source. But sometimes the people that present themselves in the most high-end way, they can be high up there, high-profile people, and they will tell you the most outrageous lies and make you believe it's fact.
Well, that's where you go to more than one source. You do. And it's like, you look at this person's character as far as their track record. What have they done over their life? What are they achieving? Is it about the money? Is it about the fame? Is it just about trying to present the truth? And you pray for the spirit of discernment. That's it. And this is one of the things that the propaganda, the thing they hate most is God. Because what we're seeing, what we are seeing,
secular mentality,
is that satanic creed, do what you will.
Yeah.
But see, the devil is a liar. Hey, you can do whatever you want to, but there is a consequence. Sooner or later, it will come home to you. If it's not on this earth, it'll be on the next one.
I've seen TikToks of people's, like, I don't know, it's like, it just snaps in them, like, it's like, oh, I have free will. I'm a human being and I've got free will, and then they just do something stupid.
Well,
like, this one person sat on top of his fridge. He was like, I'm a human. I have free will. Nobody, and I live in this place myself. Nobody can tell me I can't do this.
Yes.
And so he sat on top of his fridge. One woman dropped her mug.
Okay.
And then another threw a plate of spaghetti at the wall.
Well, see, the thing is with that, the one now, she has no mug to drink from, plus she's going to have to clean it up. The other one is going to have to throw the plate of spaghetti against the wall. Yes, people who have free will do not always make good choices. We've seen that lots, but that doesn't mean, that's why you try to teach someone to make good choices. And we have gone massively long on this one.
It's okay. I like long podcasts.
Well, I do too.
But I understand that a lot of people don't.
They don't. And that's okay. We try to keep ours a little bit on the shorter side.
I've noticed, actually, like, it's Gen Z, and some Gen X's, I think, like longer videos.
Yeah. Yeah.
But millennials and... who else was it? Well, there's not many.
You got the boomers.
Millennials, Gen Alpha, and boomers. Boomers don't really care.
Right.
As far as the length
I think
of
it
content.
has to do with the content.
Yeah.
If it's quality or not.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And if it can be found. There's a lot of quality content out there that is hidden. You got to dig for it. Our little pirate ship is one of them.
But at the same time, I don't know what it is with y'all, with
the Gen X.
No, not the Gen X. I don't know what it is with the boomers. I don't know what it is. Y'all I'm not. When I say y'all, I'm not including you. I know you're not boomer. You're a Gen X.
He's looking at me. He's talking to some of y'all out there.
Y'all watch some of the weirdest off the wall shit on YouTube. Why
Like what?
Why would you want to sit there for 25 minutes watching a man eat watermelon with a split screen? Talking about his time as a background actor.
That's a good question. I don't know.
And he's so full of shit.
Maybe it's just amusing or something. Who knows? Maybe they're just bored.
Or lie making soap videos. Lie soap making videos, I'm sorry.
Well, that's something that you may need to know how to do, but my God, if you're making soap, do not put your hand under there.
Yeah, no, that was
kind of horrifying.
Dad showed me that video, and it was like, oh, bless her heart. It's like, yeah, you can feel that soapy residue on your hands. And it's like, yeah, your hand is turning into soap.
It's called saponification, honey.
The oils in your hand is turning into soap.
Yeah.
Can you wash your other hand with your left hand? Can you wash your right hand with your left hand now?
And this is why
you got built-in soap.
That's why a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. You gotta go and get all the knowledge on how to do stuff.
We got Edward Scissorhands. We got salad fingers. Now we got soap hands. Soap fingers.
Well, hopefully she didn't keep it up under there long enough to where it would have burned her. She'd have got blisters and stuff probably beforehand.
Oh, wasn't that bubbled up? It wouldn't have sudded up.
No, I ain't how that works.
Dishes would have
My
sparkled.
grandmother used to make lye soap.
It's
Final
not
thoughts.
as bad. It's not as bad for people as...
Final thoughts on, this period of time we're existing in.
Some shit.
And we're recording this on the
I
first
hate
day of
living in
spring.
historical times.
We're recording this on the first day of spring. And it was cold. And there were snowflakes flying about this morning and last night. And I'm like, damn. So.
Also, Brittany Broski is my spirit animal.
Who?
Brittany Broski.
I don't even know who that is.
Broski Nation.
I don't know who that is. It's okay. I don't need to know.
She's known as the kombucha girl.
Okay. Well, good for her. Maybe she's got good gut health.
No, she did. She tried the kombucha and she didn't like it. And it was her facial reaction that got her famous. But then she's just funny.
She's vinegar.
Just funny.
It's a vinegar. It's a fermented drink, and it's vinegar.
Well, in one of her episodes or whatever, she was talking about something and then just ended up cutting herself off. And I was like, shut the fuck up. God, just shut up. Just shut up. And it's like, yeah, I feel that. That's exactly how it is when you know that when your mouth is rattling off too fast for your brain to catch up or whatever.
That or she was having some kind of an episode.
It's both. It's both.
Okay.
It's cringing at yourself and it's like, just shut up. Just shut up.
Well, and I think that is one of the things about it. Is she on the TikTok?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
And on YouTube.
It is showing a lot of people's day-to-day inner struggle. Not the ones that's wanting the superficial bullshit, but even the ones that are showing the superficial bullshit, that is an inner struggle for them to even know who they are. That's where everybody's trying to get, to know who they are.
I should have you watch that clip.
Oh,
but
God,
that's
no.
what the people want. They want people that are genuine and
Right.
relatable. Someone
Right.
that are just, they're getting real tired of the superficial bullshit.
Right. Well, that was
This
like
fake shit.
that one lady that she's like, why aren't you all on TikTok? Well, because we talk for a long time. TikTok doesn't allow the long time talk.
With sound bites. We
Well,
can clip it.
So, but that's okay. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And
It's a long ass video.
it is a long video. This one is. So if you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, we are very much wanting to know your thoughts on this, on the propaganda, on just what's going on right now, because it is spiritual warfare. There's nothing more scary that I could report on than what's going on in front of us right now. So put that in the comment section, or you can email me, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. It may take me a day or two to get to the email, but I will get there eventually.
Yeah, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button, even though it doesn't do much, but it likes the affection, for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all, and have a good.
Know that you're loved. Treat other people the way you would like to be treated. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.